Excellent. Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Mary. Thank you for
Hi,
joining us tonight.
thank you for having me.
Excellent. So we are ever so gently going to start with an Om. Now, an Om opens and expands the heart chakra system, which then allows each of us to hold an unconditional love frequency inside of our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. Take a deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Beautiful. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. Welcome, Mary. Okay, what are we going to talk
Hi.
about?
Um, Tonight we are going to talk about the attachments and energetic cords on page 202 of your new book, My
Excellent.
Keys to My Ascension.
Keys to My Ascension. Okay,
Um,
so the new book, it is coming to, this is the author copy, but it is coming to Amazon January 25th. This way you guys know. In the back of the book, I added the attachment pages. So I took all of the attachment information from the first book and I put it in the second book because truly the attachment knowledge is of high value to each and every one of us. The second that we fully can comprehend and we are able to discharge our attachments, it really allows us to hold more light in the energetic grids, which then in turn allows us to start activating our extrasensory abilities at a faster rate. Beautiful. Mary, read some of the page
okay.
202.
All right. Attachments are energetic beings who may be of light or dark polarity. We refer to these beings as messengers. In this topic, we shall refer to attachments as a negative polarity expression. Each attachment connects to the individual's energetic grid through the starfield nodule system. This is a set of vortices in the outer aura filled in the out of or I can't talk. In the outer aura field located where the meridian and icy and ley lines intersect. I don't know why I can't read.
You gotta get the crystal. It's the communication,
I got
right?
it.
If everybody here watching, can you guys just do it? Thank you, universe, for allowing our communication to raise its density to allow for a very clean and crisp channeling to come from both of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary, you're channeling your higher self. It's okay.
I read those two paragraphs.
Perfect. Okay. Well, the outer, or thank God I had the book in front of me. Something told me to get the copy and read it. What's the question? So the attachments, the ley lines and the meridians generate what's known as the star field. So the star field is in the outer aura. So we have the three ring system. Most of you guys know this. You've been following the work for a while now. The outer system is the star field. These are the nodules. So where the meridian and ley lines cross, there's a tiny little vortex energetic located directly in the center of that nodule, dear ones. That vortex energetic contains what we may refer to as a door. For that vortex may be of light or dark polarity. The dark polarity is always generated by an emotional imprint the individual is holding. That emotional imprint then allows for each attachment to latch on through that door. Now, when the attachment is released, this may be done in a multitude of ways, dear ones. For when you either summon the light polarity attachment or messenger, it will then release the lower frequency messenger. This will change that door from a dark polarity into a light polarity. This then allows for each of you to hold and experience the polarity of your choosing. The process of shadow work is diving into the emotional imprints, which then allows each individual to shift the polarity in the star field. The star field, dear ones, is what allows each individual to pull plasma into your energetic ring system. Plasma is what generates the physical material as you see. Thank you.
Thank you, star
Thank you,
people.
star people. Yes.
So the next one would be the energetic transfer inside the attachment grids. And it's kind of a little, the first paragraph is kind of a little scary because, I mean, they can give you their
Oh,
attachment,
yeah.
you know?
Oh, the face I just made. So funny. It's not that scary, actually. Okay, so now when we start to go into the attachments, we do attachment clearing sessions, and I've done this where the attachment will come to my mind. There is a multitude of ways that the attachments can come forward. They could be a visual, so sometimes you may see colors come to your mind. They may look like lines or splatters. Those, they're either messengers of light or dark, but they can also be soul fractals. Or let's say, for an example, any individual who has ever been in your conscious awareness can also generate a form of color in your mind's eye when you're diving into meditation. It could be used as like a phone call, like a phone number. But for the attachment's purpose, sometimes an individual has an attachment. That's the attachment's name or signature frequency, dear ones. That signature frequency, then, if it is of a darker polarity, we cast it off. Now, when we are summoning our attachments up to the surface of our mind for recalibration, we may see or sense a secondary individual. So you may see or sense a person or where you received the attachment from. Many times we go through the process of experiencing these attachments with our friends or family or people. For example, an attachment can be something silly, like witnessing a person hold the door open for another person. We've all seen things like that. There's a messenger that's latched onto you to witness that experience. That messenger then can also be on your friend, because let's say your friend was standing next to you and you both witnessed the same thing. So while you're in your meditation, you may see that attachment on you or acquire his name, the star people are saying. And then you may also see the link to one of your friends in which you were with them when the attachment was present. Or you may experience something with your friend or watch them go through an experience. And then that's where you picked up the attachment from. Either way, we have to have a magnetic alignment to allow the attachment to enter our reality. So, and that gives us back the power, really, because now we can't blame our friends for the attachments as we see fit. We're like, okay, if I have this attachment, it's not because you gave it to me, it's because I had an alignment to experience that attachment. So just stepping into that level of awareness alone is it's empowering, because it's like, well, wait a minute, this is mine, this isn't yours. Even if it came through you, it was manifest through you, it was mine. Now, here's where the real power lies as well, because while we are in meditation, we are not only able to clear our energetic field, we're also able to clear all of our friends and family and people. And we know that we're all connected by 3 degrees. Well, the thing is that if I'm clearing an attachment, I'm also going to clear it by 3 degrees. So, for an example, if the attachment is mine, it is with me, also clear it by 3 degrees. The person who it came from, the person it was on before them, and the person it was on before them, to the third. And then you'll start to notice that the reflections into the physical waking world is much higher, of all individuals healing from that energetic resonance, dear ones. Because when you clear an attachment to the 3rd degree, it then allows a very wide birthing circle to be cleared of that energetic field. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Star People. Yeah.
So then we should shield up before we even go by anybody, right?
No, absolutely
No.
not. Because, and that's the thing about asking for protection. Then you need to be protected. We shouldn't do that. What we should do is we should drop into the heart and raise our density. When we raise our density, there's no need for any protection because we're automatically in alignment with a higher frequency. Now, there's I did add a protection page onto the book, and it's a rainbow ray shield. I'll show it to you guys this way you can see, because it is encoded with a very high frequency, but I put it after the attachment pages. And the reason I did this way you guys can see the image. I'll show you guys too over here. But that image there is encoded with a particular frequency that I cast into it so that any and all attachments will be cleared from your energetic grids. Many of you guys watching, you may even notice shifts in your energy inside your body, gurgles. You may have noticed gas release from either end. You may notice pressure shifts in the body, and that's because any or all attachments that are associated or not in alignment with that rainbow ray frequency, they start to release very easily. Yes. Now that got encoded because of the simple reason that some people who are reading the book, they may not have cleared all of those particular attachments. So it's like, okay, well, if they're not at the level to release all the attachments, which who is really, then we go through and we do it with a consciousness by putting the focus on it. And then raising the biological frequency will put you in alignment so that a lot of these things will just fall off of you. Because when we raise our density levels, the attachments who aren't in alignment with us, they either fall off or they go in the background. And so what that looks like when the attachments are in the background is very similar to an individual who may have had an issue drinking, and then they got sober and clean for say 10 years, and then they had that one drop of alcohol, and then all of a sudden they're back, and we call it you fell off the wagon. That's an attachment name. So when we recognize that that attachment could have potentially been latched on the entire time for 10 years and that they reactivated it. But what would have happened if they would have released the attachment? The experience wouldn't have manifested again. So these attachments, they really can, help us to manifest our waking physical life. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and speaking of the rainbow ray you drew,
Yeah.
I told you I cried when I saw it because
Yes.
it probably helped me release some things.
Yes.
I saw it, I think yesterday.
Yeah.
No, the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday.
I just made it. I made it and it was like, okay, it's done. I sent it to Amazon. Right? It was very rapid. The second book, we all did a manifestation for the second book, though. We went on a live and we were like, thank you for bringing this book to us because we all wanted the information. And it seemed like it was very, very quick this time. And once again, these books that I'm writing, they all, I feel personally like it's co-created with all of you guys because you guys for such a long time sent in the questions either through Facebook or through email so we could address questions on a live. It's like the questions and the knowledge just it comes. And that's the process of being a seeker and asking why, right? Asking and then finding more information and then seeking the next level, the next step. When we seek anything you put your conscious focus and attention on, it must expand into your reality. So if you're focusing and you're placing your attention on ascension knowledge, you may have a new teacher come into your awareness, you may have a book come into your awareness, one way, shape, form, or another, that knowledge is going to come to you. It's going to expand and unpack. So that is the best thing I could tell you guys. Put your focus on it and allow that knowledge to just come to you. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about how we can access the rainbow ray and how we can start sending it out and using it?
Sure, absolutely. So the rainbow ray. Now, many individuals channel Saint Germain as Germain to start people are correcting as an example. That is a purple flame. Now, a rainbow ray, in my mind, the way I see it, it's a very crisp it's kind of golden yellow, but it's like a pure white light that comes down and it like spirals a rainbow around it. Like if you can see a very pure white light and it's so bright and then like the reflections of the rainbow come off of it, that's what the rainbow ray looks like. Many times we are able to pull it directly through the crown chakra right into the heart space. We're able to energetically cast it out of the palm chakras, and we're able to send it at any person, place, or thing. Now, we don't have to really think about doing this too hard. We just close our eyes and say, "Thank you, Rainbow Ray," and send it. So, right now, I call upon the Rainbow Ray and I send it to the hearts of all individuals watching this live stream as well as star people, allowing this rainbow ray to heal any aspects of these individuals, to bring unconditional love, joy, and bliss into the bodies, the minds, and the spirits, and to allow for a shift onto the highest potential timeline for each individual here. And we are sending many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
What would you say about connecting your energy with the sun?
Well, we do that naturally. The second that we set foot outside, set foot. I see. It's like it's the crystal. The second that we step foot outside, we automatically are connecting into the solar energetics. However, it goes deeper than that because the solar energetics, they control many times, dear ones. The solar energetics trigger your energetic grid structures, allowing for different densities to ever so gently be removed. Each individual here has a location ring outside of the body. That location ring controls all people, places, and things in your mind's awareness. If any densities are in the location ring, it then becomes triggered by solar energetics. That may look like Earth changes or shifts to the civilization as a whole. Now, this is very important because as each of you heal the self, you may also then dive deeper into the awareness of your location as well as civilization rings. The location ring contains all physical matter that you are aware of. Your civilization ring contains all physical matter that you were unaware of, including the civilizations on other planets. Dear ones, there are frequency activation codes located within your civilization ring we wish to bring into your heart now, if in alignment to receive. What this then looks like is our civilization as a whole collective consciousness being able to send unconditional love and activate the star seeds. Now, this shall allow for a type of telepathic communication to occur. Thank you. Thank you, star people.
Thank you,
If
Sophie.
you guys accept that form of communication, the star people are saying you simply have to think the word yes, thank you. No, thank you. Just think the word yes, and they will start to send an unconditional love and activate the star seeds telepathy. Thank you, star seeds. Thank you, star people, very, very much for activating all of the people who are in alignment to receive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
The reason why I was asking about the sun is because I just wrote a prayer on the sun. I'll put it on my channel if anybody
Do you
wants
want to
to.
read it? Is it long?
It's like a page long.
Ah,
Um, I don't even really. Well, yeah, I guess if you want me to.
I have time. I like sun prayers, right? Well, actually, wait a second. Before we start that, let's all do a very quick prayer for California and the wildfires and the earth changes that we're seeing and any type of elemental with the waters and the earth crust and everything. So we'll just do it as one whole solid prayer for every single aspect of our being because the civilization is also connected to us. So, if everybody will just take a deep breath in. And we just say, thank you, dear source frequency, for healing California, for raising the frequency of all of Mother Earth. Thank you, rain, for coming to California and putting out the wildfires very rapidly. We send a rainbow ray into the center of Mother Earth herself, allowing for all hearts that beat upon her surface to become in alignment with unconditional love, allowing for the ascension timeline to ever so gently expand, allowing for all people watching, as well as all individuals connected to the consciousness grids, to become aware of the spiritual journey in some way, shape, form, or another. And we, as humans, have no expectations of how this looks. We just say thank you. Thank you, dear source frequency, for healing Mother Earth and all of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Okay. Now here comes the sun prayer. You got this.
Okay. Prayer to the soul of the sun. Dear beautiful sun, thank you for your incarnation to this planet and the many other planets you shine your light to. I send my gratitude to you for the wonderful light codes you emit to us every day. With your light, I am gratefully claiming all of the gifts that have been imprinted on my soul. Your beautiful light has the power to transform the world. Your beautiful light has helps me shine my light brighter to the world as well. And even when I cannot see you, I know that you are there, just waiting to shine down on my soul again. I feel your energy all around me, so from now on, I will ask you to connect your light to mine so that my light will shine brighter and be more effective when I shine it out to humanity. I love you, sun. Thank you for shining bright. So be it, and so it is.
So it is. So amazing. I love that.
Yeah, I came up with that yesterday.
It's gorgeous. You know, and that's funny because the second that we write something down, it starts a process of manifestation. And that's basically it. I notice this too because we have what is known as the author code or the author ability. And that truly is, it's like the ability to write something down or a story. And then you start to witness the mirror reflections of the story. Some people are doing this with painting. Painting, arts, crafts, anything that you're placing the focus on, you're going to start to see mirror reflections. And the manifestation process is all determined by your belief systems as well as how much light is free flowing through your energetics. But yeah.
Yeah, whenever I decided I was going to do that prayer, I did call in my guides and I was like, come on, you can help me with some words. And all of a sudden it just started rolling in.
Yeah. Say thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, guides, for helping me with some words. Thank you for helping me to
thank
write.
you.
Yeah.
The next one is Demon Walker. Let me get it on the page.
Okay. What page is that one? Is that the new
Um,
book or the old one?
that's the new book. It's page 205.
205.
Yeah, it's right in between the attachment stuff.
Oh, it's all towards the back. I put all the attachments towards the back. I figured I'd make it easy because the attachments is such like a prominent topic. It's like just go to the back of the book and all the information is there, right? And then it's perfect.
Yeah, I really like this one though. A demon walker is an individual who has mastered a level of darkness experientials and who has risen their biological frequency into healed frequency. This then allows for further control over demons and dark ones. The
Yes.
ability is very useful for master healer archetypes. It allows them to command any dark entities off any of the children of light's energetic grids. It allows for the demons to be brought to a type of use when it comes to different dark arts manifestations.
Hmm. So the one I believe this might have been from the first book. Anyway, um when well, there's no way around this. The attachments are real And some people can see them, and they do look like demons. So, that being said, the second that we, as children of light, we step into the awareness of the messengers, which are either demonic or angelic in their nature, or there's even a gray spectrum, the star people are saying, it then allows us to start doing exactly what we're doing now. We can cast them off, but when we cast the attachments off, we tell them go home, right? But that's giving them the free will for them to move along. But the truth is that in time, there's going to be some individuals who are attuned for this ability of rising into the healed frequency, casting off those demons off of people, but then also taking control of them. When we start to take control of them, they can be used in very specific manifestations. Once again, we see decomposition occur. Let's take this to a science outlook. When you have a piece of fruit fall to the floor, that piece of fruit then develops the mold, the mildew, it starts to break down. That breakdown process is feeding other life at the same time as it is breaking down what was once life. This is what the demons are designed to do. They are designed to facilitate that breakdown process. They are connected directly to the void space, which pulls the light out of whatever item, person, place, or thing it is. So now going back to the concept of there's going to be individuals who can control the demons. This is a very, very touchy topic release, but some people are already doing this type of work with the dark arts. That being said, that is not what I personally engage in, but I do recognize that all information that needs to be brought to the light will be given to us that we need. If and when the time is correct, we are able to then take the demons and then we are able to utilize them to remove things. So in the book, the example the star people gave us was, let's say that there's a forest and the forest needed to be removed for whatever reason. Maybe it had like a type of algae that was going to, spread and ruin all the trees. So in that case, we can all agree this forest needs to go. So whoever is able to then call up these dark demons, we're able to take them and cast them at the forest that needs the breakdown process to happen. So this way, those dark ones are able to go into the forest and void all of those trees, allowing them to start, the decomposition rate at a very rapid speed. So this is how we're able to take a dark practice and use it for something that's beneficial. We do this naturally. We do this using fire, right? So let's take the forest fire for an example. Sometimes they will put fire in certain locations to coax the fire to go a certain way. So that is taking something dark or negative, which is a fire burning down, good trees, but doing it for a good purpose. So it's like we can understand and comprehend that to a certain degree. That is what that ability is all about, because it then allows us to control the darkness. And as a child of light, we have to learn to go inside. We have to learn to heal our own darkness, and we have to learn to control it too, because there's certain aspects of ourselves where we are being called to be the warrior in the garden. So, and that there's so many texts that tells us, we keep the sword sheathed, and that means that we have a sword. So when we raise our frequency to a certain degree, a certain caliber, it allows our manifestations to come very rapidly. So that in itself, your tongue being the sword and keeping it sheathed is not speaking the darkness, but controlling dark ones of this matter in order to bring more light to the current person, place, or thing. That's okay too. Yeah.
That's an awesome thing for somebody to be able to control them.
Right?
It's just awesome. I
Yeah.
wanna beat that person.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be me.
Well, the person will have an alignment. And many times, I mean, people who do like attachment removal sessions and all that stuff, most of the times they fall into it or the universe picks them. And it's like,
Yeah,
this is what you're gonna do. And it's like it's such an odd thing, like, you know, but yeah, we'll see. I know that there's gonna be many people who can do this because it just makes sense that there would be, a handful in the beginning and then more, right? Because we don't just want to be taking the attachments and sending them free. I've had experiences in releasing the attachments, and then they were they affected someone who was in the same house as me, and I was like, "What? You have the attachment? I just cleared that one." And so, but it makes sense that, like, okay, well, we want to be able to command you. Now you have to go home, right? You have to, but from our angle and our perspective, the star people have guided us to just call the archangels in and ask the archangels, can you please take, or thank you for taking all the attachments we clear and bringing them back home safely so that we don't cause them harm. The attachments do have social circles, they have family, they have children, there are certain, there's a whole lot to them that is coming out very rapidly and soon. So people are becoming aware of these beings and what they are. And there's different types. So, we can see select beings who may potentially be extraterrestrial, not associated with the star people, but those are also part of these beings feeding off of us. There are shadow people, beings who are just dark silhouettes that look like people. And then there are the ones that look like gremlins. you know you have to laugh, right? And just realize that if they're triggering us into this darkness, because that's what they're going to eat or feed off of our energetics, is this dark material. Well, I'm not going to give them anything to feed off of. I'm going to choose love. And the more and more you choose love, the more you hold this light, bright frequency, and they can't eat that. So that's a solution. Be love, choose love. And then you rise above the demons. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
in 2020, I used to hear that if your floor was dirty, the angels would not come in your house to clear the attachments. They won't come in. So
Who told you that?
I heard it, and I was constantly cleaning my floor.
Well, I've heard that you have that you clean your floor with vinegar,
Yeah,
and vinegar cleanses and purifies all the darkness out of your house. Now, I personally would note the star people saying, yes, you call the angel and they will come. I've had an experience once, which was really interesting because I called in all of the angels during like a shadow work Zoom or whatever I was doing. And in my human world, I was like, oh, okay, the shadow work Zoom is done. I just assumed that they left. And now here it is, however long later, and I'm in my bed snuggled up. And the star people were like, you didn't, release the angels. And they were still in the room, and the star people were able to see them. They were like, you have to thank them and, tell them that they can go home. So, but I mean, whether your floors are dirty or not, I'm sure that they will still see you and know you, and you know, it's okay. And don't be too judgmental on yourself. Because I feel like that's like a human thing to do, because the floor being dirty is a frequency. And not everything in the house at this moment is 100% of a high frequency. I mean, we know this too, because it's like everyone has the dust bunny somewhere in the house, right?
yeah,
So it's okay. And it's okay to be at peace with it. And it's the process of coming to peace with things that then allows them to change or shift and hold a higher density level. So it truly is like a learning lesson to like release all the darkness and to just allow, because that allowing is neutral. Yeah.
yeah. Usually when I call in Source Energy, I ask them to stay with me all day in my heart
Ah,
space.
that's
I,
beautiful.
I just I don't want them to leave. Just
Don't hold on too tight, right? You have to be okay. They had the star people, they taught me, and I've been well, they taught me the past, since 2022. And they taught me, try your best to hold neutrality to everything. And so breaking the cords with people is the first thing that we do, which is, when we do attachment release sessions or sessions, usually we cut all the cords so that you're starting from fresh in your own energy field. And then everyone that you interact with, you pick up the phone, you send a text, or, whatever it is, there's a new energy cord that gets placed. That's okay too. But the second that you're like, you clean all the cords off of you, you're now situated in your own energetic field. That's it. And so when you sit in your own field, it's like you're not being influenced. Now you're able to sense, where is there a distortion, an imbalance, Where is something happening? Do I feel anything happening? How does my nervous system net feel? And going inwards more. Now, that's only one level of it. You can do bond breaking. Bond breaking is even it's like it's championship level activated. That's what breaking the bonds is, right? When you break the bonds between all people, think about it this way. Every single experience that we have, it generates an energetic cord. The energetic bonds are multiple cords or all spiraled together between you and the person. So that's like, let's say it's a family member. Every single interaction you've ever had, it free flows through all these multiple cords. It's a bond, right? And it's harder to break a bond than it is just a cord. When you cut through the bonds, if someone is not in alignment with where you are going in your life, you may notice communication blockages. You may notice like just a misalignment in general. And it's like, oh, you broke the bonds. Love will heal all things. So when you do go through the process of breaking the bonds, always send love to people, and the people who are in alignment will come back to you. That's what we do. Yeah.
Um, can you tell me how do you know if you have something like with your ancestral lineage, if something is off? How do you know how to be able to tell if you do have something and how can you fix it? Like,
Sure. So, the first thing you want to have a look at, okay, I had the experience X, Y, and Z. Did it ever happen to anyone else in the family? So many times we take a look at well, diseases. Diseases is one such perfect example. It's like if something funky is happening to your body, did it happen to anybody else? If it did, that's ancestral karma.
yeah.
What that means is there's a genetic predisposition to the disease formation, which then becomes triggered by your emotional frequency held. That is what the star people are saying. Now, it's okay too to recognize that experientials, dear ones, may also be triggered with ancestral karma. However, there are some experiences that are predetermined or pre-programmed by your higher self. This then allows for you to walk through an experience in which you may have a reoccurring cycle repeat mark running through the family genome. This allows for any and all starseeds who are reincarnated right now to then go through the cycle repeats ever so gently, allowing for each starseed to then heal or transmutate any cycle repeat marker in the genetic genome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, star people. So if you notice that something is like weird that's happening to you and it's happened to other people in the family, chances are it's ancestral karma. If you go inside, now many of us, we do the meditation, we go inside, we do the shadow work. If you go inside, you may have the thought come into your mind. You may see it reflected from another person's mind or standpoint. And that is, once again, that meditation is going to show you. It's going to show you, where did the imprint come from? Is the imprint even mine? Or am I just feeling into somebody's energy? So many times, and this is the way my personal life goes, before I get on, let's say, a session call with someone, I may wake up early in the AM and all of a sudden I'm noticing something funny happen. And it's like, where did this come from? Is this my energy? And then later on throughout the day, I get on a session call and it's like, oh, you have that attachment. But what they are is, it's a mirror reflection of the energy that I was programmed with from the moment I opened my eyes in the AM. This is very important to determine because every single one of us, the moment we open our eyes is the moment when you can potentially go through all of your energy cords and clear them all. The way the star people showed me how to do this is by imagining or visualizing every single energetic cord connected to your field and running it up through the source frequency, which is like higher than, it's like it's the source frequency. It's like God. So if we take all the energy cords, we flow it through then, and we thank the universe for then crystallizing, we're making it with a rainbow ray or bright white light, then all of the energy cords that comes back into us are going to be of a higher density level. That higher density level is going to make the experiences we have throughout the day higher in frequency, allowing us to be more aligned with more love-based emotions. Make sense? Anytime we wake up and we start to place awareness and notice there's an attachment, whether it be in the thoughts, in the body, in the emotions, we say release to release it. And then we place awareness and we start to see other people who have it. Now, there's the process of ascension. Once again, this is not for everyone. This is only for some people. Some people go through the bulk of all of the emotions on earth, if not all of them, the bulk of them, and the experientials as well. Whether we are seeing these things through other people, seeing them on a television set, or just observing the emotion or the attachment, and then it teaches us. And the process of learning about these things, it truly allows us to go in and to not be scared of the attachments, but to treat them for what they are. They're actually our assistants of a sort. They are here to assist us in our manifestations. Our manifestations are either happy or they're sad. So when we start to experience, happy emotions, for an example, then a messenger matching the frequency of the happy emotion latches on. And then they trigger us that happy emotion more and more and more so that we're able to rise our density levels. They're here to assist us in our manifestations. Yeah.
So you talk about the chords. Do you think when we when we ascend, will we be able to see our own chords that are connected to other people?
You could do it right now.
You
But
can.
you have to imagine it at first. And the more you imagine it, and then it's going to be just like what you and I were just talking about, how you were able to see your energy field
Yeah.
after an hour of meditation. Well, you'll be able to see the energetic cord between you and all the people. Now, this is important as well because the second that you're able to properly see or observe the cord between you and other people, it then allows you to see the polarity of the cord. Each and every cord can either hold light or dark, and there's a 0 point of the cord. I'll call it a 0 point. It's not really a 0 point, but it's like a sliding scale. Is the cord more white that way towards them, or is it more light towards me? Where is it, right? So, and that cord then determines what experiences you're going to have throughout your day. Yeah.
Connie has a question. Do you
Hi.
know about spirit release therapy? A psychic goes into your aura field and then their guide and they remove attached entities, earthbounds, implants, AI.
Well, that's kind of what I do because I
Yeah.
do the attachment release sessions. But no, I've never actually come into the awareness of that. That being said, I watched a video of a priest. He was removing attachments too, and I was like, oh yeah, he does it too. So the information is out here. People are aware of it now. The way that my friends and I flow through our days, I mean not every day, but for the most part, is if you're speaking, you're having an everyday conversation and you're using the negative words, one of us is like release, right? And we may even say it under our breath as we're having the conversation. So it's like release, release, right? Because we are releasing that attachment off of you and myself in the now moment. Now this is of high value because if you are with someone, and it doesn't matter who it is, even if you're out in the general population and that darkness is there, if you are witnessing someone speaking that darkness, even if you have to clear it in your mind, release. It then allows that attachment to be released off of both of you. And then it allows both of you to raise your density levels. So, and remember, do it by the three. Thank you for releasing any and all attachments from this moment forward to the third degree, allowing it to heal and clear off of me and the other individuals who had experienced that attachment. Yeah.
Also, I still do what you said to do. You put your hand on your heart. You say, "I do not accept your energy." Like
Yes. Oh,
somebody's
yes,
talking to
yes.
me, and I also do it, in secret if I don't want to tell them that I'm doing
I did that once. I did that once to someone. I put my hand over my heart and I put, instead of like putting my hand out this way, I put it down. And that person stopped talking immediately. And they were like, it's too heavy for you, right? And I was like, absolutely, right? That energy was just, it was not for me. So, but it worked, right? Because what happened was, it was in my mind, thank you for protecting me against this energy or not allowing this energy to penetrate. And it had transmutated that darkness immediately. So, once again, it's every single thing that we experience in this waking world, it is a mirror reflection of the energy that we are putting out there. So,
Yeah. So, do you think that we should cleanse and clear our chakras every single day or every other day or?
well, I mean, I think that we should focus on it when we feel called to. However, that being said, there are people who do cleanse and purify it every single day. Me personally, I stay grounded in the now moment. And in the now moment, and this is something that the star people had taught me in my journey, which was don't do anything too much. Do it, feel it, call it if you're aligned to it, and then release it so you're neutralizing it. So, whereas I may be doing the ice baths and then I stop doing the ice baths, I may be doing the 4 mile walks, and then all of a sudden the winter hits and we're doing something else. We might go to the gym and we may go indoor swimming, and then we may do this, we may do that. Whatever it is in the now moment is what I feel called to do, even if that's to do nothing. Because sometimes the gym disappears. Sometimes things it's just not in alignment. And even if you try and force it, the universe is like, it's not in alignment right now. So, really, we just have to recognize our alignments. Is it in alignment for me to go and have this experience? Or is it in alignment for me to just take a step back and to come inwards? And Mary, we've seen this as well, where the star people will even guide me and they're like, now come inwards, spend some time in your physical waking world, do the physical things, clean the house, spend time with the kids, make your bed, wash clothes, whatever it is that you're doing around your house, and then come and refocus again. So we're meant to do this, and it's a spiritual perspective as well as a physical perspective. And if we take a look at the way the solar energetics are working, they go up and they go down. So we have what's known as a spiritual week, and then we come back down to a physical week. So we may notice us paying the bills during a physically focused week. And then we may notice during the spiritually focused weeks that we are more like in 5D. Everything's happening very rapidly. We're just staying in the moment. We're staying like happy and high frequency and just running through life without any expectations. So, coming into that awareness of, well, what am I doing today? Am I focused in the physical, or am I more like happy and just going with the flow of life? Is key, because when you start to, like, let's say journaling will show you, right? It will show you, where's my focus today? Is it on washing the car and doing the things, or am I doing, more spiritually minded or focused things? Now, that whole process, the weeks, it doesn't even have to be a week. It's whatever the sun deems necessary. We may have a spiritually focused day, and then the next day we may be physically focused, and that's okay too. So when we realize this, so it's like this, right? Because that's what a frequency wave is, but it's the Earth's frequency wave that we're tuning into, is what that is. So, recognizing how our awareness is allows us to see what the Schumann resonance is giving us for that day. The Schumann resonance is the Earth's frequency, which is determined by the solar energetics, because the two work hand in hand. So, the sun beams down, the plants absorb from the sun, it pulls that energy into the earth, and it shifts the earth frequency. So when we recognize, okay, our focus and our level of awareness is determined by the earth's frequency. So there's some things that we can even do to, like, allow the earth to rebalance us faster. And that's like earth grounding, right? Because we are taking more of that frequency and becoming in alignment with the way the natural system works. And that then allows our level of a focus to come more into alignment with that. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of people stop talking about the solar flash a lot.
Why? Sam Sava. I have the photos of the sun. It's on my wall. Every night I go to bed, I'm like, thank you. Right? It's beautiful. I look at it. It's there. And it's the solar flash really is, I mean, in my mind, it's evolution to the entire species. That being said, I do recognize that the earth is shifting us all through the spiritual evolution. We can see that already because the amount of people who have been selected to wake up is it's rising. Every single year you're noticing more and more people wake up to spiritual knowledge. Now, thankfully, the sun and the earth, they know what they're doing because they are a consciousness all of their own. And so when Mother Earth feels like we are ready for a solar flash, the solar flash will be called for us. That's the way that works. It is all in alignment. And if we want to take it onto a macro level, right? So we are the micro level, let's say that. When I am ready for the solar flash will appear in my reality because we are all truly multidimensional in our nature. And my manifestations may be different than yours because in this moment, we come together to co create. We form an energetic grid or consciousness grid. We blend our energies together. This is how we co create the now moment. And then when we step back, we are each in our individual timeline bubble once more. So our frequency, our density, and all the information stored inside of us is going to manifest what we see in our world among worlds expression. We are multidimensional. This is not the real world that we are looking at. This is simply physical matter codings, which are controlled by our emotions, and we are able to change it through the power of shifting our frequencies. That is what we see.
Do you feel like this year is the year that people are going to be getting their gifts? I know some gifts are already coming online. Like some I'm already getting some of mine. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But do you think people are going to get their gifts? Cuz that's really what people are wanting. They want
I
it.
do know from my level of awareness, I am already seeing people with gifts and whatever that looks like. The star people have told people, oh, you have this gift. And then all of a sudden, me being the channeler, I'm like, what does that mean? And neither one of us, and then all of a sudden a year later, it's like, oh, that's what it means, right? They told us about this last year and it was true and it was right. Now we know what it means. And I'm seeing people to this day who are like, oh, yeah, I've done that my entire life. And it's like, but the gift was already theirs. And they've already done it since they were children. So I'm seeing that as well. Now I'm also seeing healers. And this is because the healer has healed. And when the healer is able to heal themselves, they are then able to send a very, very bright light through their body vessel as they are channeling, as they are healing. Once again, that bright light, this is a form of like Reiki energy, which is when we're taking the source frequency that naturally flows through us and we are energetically casting it at the person that we wish to see healed. Now, when we're doing that, we're also seeing them as already being healed. And it allows that energy to push into their biological form. And it allows whatever healing, which is in the most appropriate alignment for them, to manifest. What the star people have guided me personally to do is because I focus on imprinting people. Um, the process of that is getting very excited. So you have to hold a very high emotion. I recommend doing it in love because that is how I roll. That is how I that is how I function. When you become very happy and excited, you are then able to send a thought form into the person. And that thought form, because your excitement is very high, it then imprints them in the cellular levels, which then allows it to manifest very rapidly into their waking world. Now, imprinting people, the star people have guided us to imprint them to their highest potential timelines, right? This way, there's no mistakes. If you are imprinting them with something that is not in alignment with their highest potential, then instead of them being true to who they are, they may shift out of alignment with that puzzle piece because each and every one of us are a puzzle piece on the earth. And when you put all of us together, it forms an image. Well, what happens if someone is imprinted with something? And this is what the trauma codings are. They are imprints from our trauma. So going through and learning how to release the imprints and then learning how to program our cells. Now, once again, imprints can be in the cellular structure of our actual physical form, but we're able to imprint us utilizing the eyes, which imprints directly into the soul tubule system. There's different forms of imprinting as well that may include using the waters. So this particular bottle that I'm currently using, oh my God, it just like got me all soaked. So much fun. Well, this one, we put a triskelion on the bottom. A triskelion is the three vortexes, three circles. And what it does is it generates that vortex energy and it starts to restructure the water back into a positive polarity. So we all can recognize that every single word spoken will then start to imprint the water with whatever sacred geometric snowflake that coordinates to that word. So when we are using different things, we are consciously adding a frequency into the water. If you guys are able to get yourself very, very excited and happy, like to the max, the most amount of excitement you're able to hold, you then are able to send that excitement into the water. And then you could take that water and you could have many people drink from it. When people drink from that water, whatever is imprinted in that water, hopefully it's thank you for shifting them to their highest potential timeline. That energy is going to then start to heal their bodies, their minds, their spirits, and it is going to start to align them onto the highest potential. Now, once again, the higher self usually isn't, not usually, the higher self is in full control of the situation. So we can imprint somebody, but within 3 days, if that person is not in alignment to accept that new frequency, then that person's higher self will shift them back down. Here's where the free will comes into play, because if the higher self shifts back down and re-imprints you into a lower density, the free will that we have is we can keep doing the healing modality. And when we keep doing it, it eventually sticks and then we rise above it. That's part of the healing process. So it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's almost the hour.
Okay.
Want to keep going? Or?
No, I probably get a towel. Why didn't they close the lid? Right? Everybody
I
spills like a gallon of water on themselves during a live stream. I do. It's so much fun. Hopefully that doesn't imprint in my water.
don't know. No, it won't.
I know, it's okay. It's good to laugh at yourself. It's fun. Right. Okay. Thank you guys so incredibly much for coming tonight. We will. Oh, what's on the bottom again? Crystal Jam 333. She wants to see me spill it again. Right. It's a triskelion. So a triskelion is a spiral. It's three different spirals, and the three different spirals, it generates a vortex energetic. Now our DNAs spiral up in a vortex. This generates that. Many times they use that in order to put them in orgonite pieces. It's a triskelion. Google triskelion. And you'll also see a sacred geometry encoded into three, which is the reason why the cover of the new book has three keys, and there's a 333, three on the bottom of each keys. Hi, Jamie. Okay. Oh, see, she needed to hear about the free will. Yes, our free will is to choose love. That's it. And the more and more, every time we're trying to do a healing, we can get it, we can change the emotion code. And then if we slip back down, that's normal. It's kind of like a gatekeeper test, right? Where the universe is testing you. Are you able to keep and hold and maintain the higher frequency? Or are you going to slip back down in your density? If you choose love, and once again, this is self-love as well, but you choose to love yourself, then all of a sudden you will break through the gatekeeper block and you will raise your density higher. And then all of a sudden you're able to heal whatever it is. Many times when we go through particular healings, for example, not for example, whatever it is that you're trying to heal, it may come up again just to test you and see if you're ready to overcome it. So that's normal too. So, for example, if you were in pain, you may have healed all the pain, and then you may have a day come, and then that day comes and it's like you're in pain again, and it's the universe talking to you, and the universe is like, well, are you ready to overcome that pain? If you're ready to overcome it, when the pain comes around the second time, you'll be like, it's okay, I'll get through it, and it will not even phase you, because you will know it will eventually turn itself off. That's a gatekeeper block. We all have to go through the gatekeeper blocks in order to allow us to fully transmutate any density or distortion. Yeah. For the most part, it's not every single time, because we don't want to manifest that, but for the most part, if something does come back around, it's because the universe is testing you, and you have to get through more love. So anytime we go through and we clear the energetic cords, you guys may notice cycle repeats come back around very rapidly. And that's because, are you ready to transmutate it, or are you going to wait for another cycle? That's why this happens. It's a gatekeeper block. That's in the book too. Excellent, guys. At 8:30, we will be doing the shadow work Zoom, but we are going to sign off for now. Thank you, Mary, so incredibly much for coming. Thank you for that
Thank
beautiful
you.
sun prayer.
Thank you
I
for
loved it. Yes. Thank you, guys. You guys have many love and blessings, and have a wonderful night. Anybody who wants to come to the Shadow Work Zoom, just send an email through the daniellelipton.com website, and I send you a free Zoom link. It is always complimentary. We come together and we heal as a tribe, as a community. So thank you, guys, and you have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Good night. I mean, hopefully the live ends. I've hit the button how many times?